Yo, all I have to say is that the new collectible comms this week have some juicy information, and we'll talk about that in the next video. But first, weekly vendor reset. Here we go. What's going on, YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division 2 video, and I'm just checking in on you. What's going on? How are ya? Now, today is August the 5th, and this is going to be your weekly vendor reset and must-buys. So sit back, relax, grab that popcorn, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know what you think in the comment section below. But we will start off here in Washington, D.C., and then we will finish up in New York City. Our first vendor of the video is going to be the Base of Ops vendor. Here we go.
What can I do for you?
And starting off at the top, we have the Carpenter. This is the named Lingmo chess piece with Perfectly Mad Bomber, and this one with max status and health. Going to the weapons, we have a Tactical AUG with Stability and Measured, an ACR with Damage to Targets at a Cover and Optimist, and finally a First Wave PF45 with Sadist and Reload Speed. Going to the gear items, we have a Hanayu backpack with Combined Arms status and crit chance, and a Murakami chess piece with status, repair skills, and kinetic momentum. Going to the mods, we have crit hit damage 10.1, drone armor repair 6.4, turret +1 extra sniper, and sticky bomb blast radius of 4.9. Now, must-buys, things to look for from the Base of Ops vendor. The ACR is not bad with damage to targets at a cover. Remember that you could put, flatline on here. You could put multiple talents on here. But keep the damage to targets at a cover and just change that bottom talent to whatever it is you want. But that's really it from the Base of Ops vendor. So let's jump over to the Countdown and Clan vendors. Now, if you have access to Warlords of New York, you can access these vendors over there. But here is your Countdown vendor. We have the Picaro's holster right now at the Countdown vendor. Pick it up. That is a fan favorite, and it is a best-in-slot holster for multiple builds, whether it be damage builds, hybrid builds, anything like that. This works wonders with the Ninja Bike Messenger bag, and it's a lot of fun. It gives you weapon damage as a bottom attribute, gives you armor, and then you can put whatever, middle attribute you want. Right here, it has near max armor regeneration. Not bad. Pretty fun to use. But you can get it right here at the Countdown vendor. Following that, we do have a Carnage. This is the Perfect Sadist Negev. And this one with headshot damage. But what I would do is change the headshot off for armor damage, and you're good to go. And finally, we do have the Mechanical Animal. This is the named AR with Future Perfection. And this one with Rate of Fire, but I would change that to damage to targets at a cover, and you're good to go. And our last vendor of the Base of Ops is going to be the Clan vendor. Speaking of clans, big shout out to the DoD Disciples of Doom. We are on all platforms. If you are interested in joining the DoD, I only have one clan per platform because I'm in each of my clans. So if you are on Xbox, PlayStation, or PC, just go to my Discord server, and there's different tabs. It'll say, join DoD clan on PC, join DoD clan on PlayStation, Xbox, what have you. Just put your name on the list, and whenever we get, spots open, I'll send out a message and have you join. And speaking of clans, here is your clan vendor. Starting with the Dare. This is the named LMG with perfect flatline, and this one with crit hit damage. You could just change that to armor damage, and you're good to go. For the gear set items, we have a Tip of the Spear chest piece with max crit, not bad. Ortiz chest piece with explosive resistance, and finally a Heartbreaker backpack with crit chance. Now, this is a good Heartbreaker backpack, not bad. Remember that with Heartbreaker, you get double the bonus armor when you wear the backpack, so just remember that. And going down to the high-end items, let's start with the weapons. A Super 90 with accuracy and future perfect. X45 with swap speed and in sync. A military RPK with crit chance and unhinged. And finally, a Negev with max magazine size and precision strike. Going to the high-end items, we have an Araldi mask with headshot and repair skills. you could easily change the repair skills to crit chance. That is a really, really good mask. Go crit headshot, or you could go weapon handling, headshot, whatever. Put this on a marksman rifle build, and you're good to go. And finally, for the items, we have a Wyvern backpack with health hazard and opportunistic. And finally, an Empress backpack with max skill haste, explosive resistance, and adrenaline rush. Going to the mods, we have skill duration 8.8, headshot 8.1, crit damage 10.4, and drone deflect duration 6.8. Now, must buys, things to look for from the clan vendor. The dare's not bad. I'm just not a big fan of it. The tip of the spear's not bad. Just change the core attribute. The Araldi mask is pretty good for those headshot marksman rifle builds. And that's really about it. There. Moving on from the base of ops, we're going to travel west, and then we will double back east. Our first stop is going to be the campus settlement. Here we go. And if you haven't hit the thumbs up yet, what are you waiting on? Hit the like, support the channel by subscribing, and let me know what you are picking up today. Did I miss any must-buys? Let's discuss. Don't forget to shout out where you're from. But all right, here we go. Campus settlement, starting with the Cricket. This is the named LMG with perfect precision strike, and this one with headshot damage. Following that, we have a custom M44 with swap speed and sadist, and a Negev with crit chance and unhinged. Going to the gear items, we have a Grupo mask with hazard and skill haste, and an electric holster with max headshot and crit hit damage. Going to the mods, we have skill haste 10.0, chem launcher +1 ammo, hive healing 4.0, pulse effect duration 8.8, and trap duration of 4.3. Now, must-buys, things to look for from the campus. Not really, to be honest with you. Yeah. All right, let's move on. And now we're going to hit up the Dark Zone vendors, starting with Dark Zone West. But remember that these vendors are the only vendors that give you PvP exclusive items. I mean, it is rare that you see it from the Countdown vendor, but, typically just the Dark Zone vendors. Now, each of these Dark Zone vendors only take DZ resources as a currency. So to double check your DZ resources, right above your keys, you will see your Dark Zone resources. For example, I'm at 521 out of 999, and if I need any more Dark Zone resources, I have to either go into the Dark Zone and open up the little blue box, or I have to go around, get contaminated items, deconstruct them in my bag to DZ resources, and then extract them. So, I mean, either way you want to do it, it's a whole process. But, nevertheless, that's how you get DZ resources, and here is your first Dark Zone vendor, Dark Zone West. Starting with the Everlasting Gaze, this is the named rifle with perfect perpetuation, and this one with accuracy. Now remember, perfect perpetuation gives you 75% status damage and duration. Just remember that, and that's from a headshot. And you can get that to refresh every 16 seconds. So that's really strong for like a status PvE build. Very strong. Going down to the weapons, we have a Spaz 12 with health damage and Vindictive, and a MK47 with health damage and Optimist. Going to the gear items, we have Breaking Point gloves with near max crit damage. Rigor knee pads with crit chance, Alps gloves with status and repair skills, and Badger Tough knee pads with armor regeneration and repair skills. Going to the mods, we have Burn Resistance 8.5, Seeker Mine Healing 5.9, Shield Active Regeneration 4.2, Firefly Damage 6.1, and Decoy Duration of 6.0. Now, must-buys, things to look for from DZ West. The Everlasting Gaze isn't bad. It's aight, but that's really about it. Now let's take our talents down south to the deep south. DZ South. Let's go. Hopefully we get something good. We'll see. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. All right, here we go. DZ South. Big money, no whammies. Ooh, nice. The Liquid Engineer. This is a perfect bloodsucker for all of you out there. You can get 120% bonus armor on your build. Not bad at all. This is named a Bellstone Armory, but it does come with health and headshot, so I don't know about that one. I'd probably change the health to armor regeneration and just go for headshots, I guess. That would be the only way to make this one work, in my opinion. Moving on to the weapons, we have a Tactical AUG with crit damage and breadbasket at F2000 with max crit chance and ignited, and a Snub-Nose Diceros with reload speed and pressure point. Going to... headshot, health, and glass cannon. Gross. Going to the gear items, we have a measured assembly backpack with skill damage, breaking point chest piece with weapon handling, Heal-A-Guard backpack with health, repair skills, and galvanize, and finally, a Y'all Gear chest piece, right? Y'all Gear. A lot of people's ears will perk up when they hear Y'all Gear. However, this one has headshot and health with glass cannon. I do not recommend it. Going down to the mods, we have Headshot 7.0, Drone Armor Repair 6.5, Turret Damage 4.3, and Sticky Bomb Skill Haste of 4.2. Must-buys, things to look for, probably the Liquid Engineer. It's not easy to come by. Perfect Bloodsucker. Pick it up. Now, before we go to DZ East, we have to make a pit stop to the Castle Settlement. And what I do is I go to the descent entrance, I run up the stairs, able to pet the dog, get a little dopamine, and then I jump over to the vendor. So here's the doggy. What up, doggy? Oh, trying to pet. Oh, trying to shake my hand. Let's go. Oh, I can interact again. Bark, bark. Yeah, that's right. Bark at her. That's right. Oh, ow! Oh, dude, I'm able to hit all the interactions right now. Let's go. Oh, all right. See you later, Ransom. Is Ransom gonna glitch out? Let's see. You gonna glitch out? It's looking better. Over the years, this is looking a lot better. Nice. I mean, not bad. I like it. Very good. It used to glitch out over here, so very well done. All right, so before the music starts to blare out my eardrums, let's go ahead and hit up the Castle Settlement. Starting with the Eckham's Long Stick. This is the named marksman rifle with perfect ranger, and this one with magazine size. You can easily just change that to damage to targets out of cover, and you're good to go. Following that, we have a hunting M44 with crit chance and steady-handed, and a GR9 with swap speed and measured. Going to the gear items, we have a Grupo mask with weapon handling, explosive resistance, and a Richter and Kaiser holster with skill damage and armor regeneration. Going to the mods, we have Skill Haste 10.0, Chem Launcher Damage 4.1, Hive Reviver Armor Repair 8.3, Pulse Effect Duration 8.7, and Trap Duration 6.1. Now, must-buys, things to look for from the Castle Settlement. Not really. I mean, the Eckham's Long Stick's okay, but let's be real. Perfect Ranger? Yuck. You'd be better off with Determined. Am I right? Yeah, I think I'm right. All right, we're going to hit up DZ East. Now, for the DZ East vendor, what I do is I don't go to the main entrance for this one. I do for all the other ones, but not this one. This one, I hit the alpha checkpoint. I do get a little double loading screen right there. But the reason why I go to the alpha checkpoint is because the vendor is just outside of the checkpoint, and then that way I don't have to run all the way through the courtyard. It does take a little bit, a little bit more time running through the courtyard, or I could get stuck here on a 9% loading screen, and then it doesn't matter what happens.
Access granted.
Stetus Lepidus. All right, there we go. Anyways, if you go to the main entrance, you'd spawn way out there, is what I was trying to say. Anyways, DZ East, big money, no whammies. Starting with the White Death with damage to target. That's a really good White Death. All right, so you could pick this one up. This is by far the best item we've seen so far. The White Death, damage to targets out of cover, just change Spike over to Determined, and then that's it. You're done. So this is a really good White Death. Just change the talent to Determined. Following that, we have a custom M44 with optimal range and naked. A military L86 with crit damage and unhinged. Going to the gear items, we have a refactor mask with skill haste. Negotiator's Dilemma holster with crit damage. Bellstone Armory mask with status and health. And finally, a Wyvern holster with status and skill haste. That is a really good holster. It is. Is it worth 101 DZ resources? Debatable, but this is a really good holster. You can go skill damage status or go skill haste or skill damage. Either way, pick your poison. It's a good holster. Going to the mods, we have skill haste 10.2, chem launcher damage 4.3, hive duration 4.2, pulse radius 8.6, and trap shock radius of 5.8. Now, must buys things to look for from DZ East, the White Death, all day, day. Besides that, I mean, the Negotiators isn't bad, the Wyvern's not bad. It's really up to you. But the White Death, for sure. And that will leave us with our last vendor of Washington, D.C., and then we'll jump over to the New York vendors. But here we are at the theater. And big money, no whammies, the Surge. And it's looking like this vendor reset's okay. It's all right. It's not the best vendor reset so far anyways. I mean, maybe in New York City we'll get some goodies, but we'll see. All right, theater settlement. Starting with the Surge, this is the named rifle Perfect Spike, and this one with stability. Following that, we have a SASG with Headshot and Future Perfect, and a Classic M1A with Headshot and Sledgehammer. Going to the gear items, we have a Neurality pair of gloves with Armor Regeneration, Explosive Resistance, and Hanayu knee pads with status and weapon handling. Going to the mods, we have Shock Resistance 8.2, Seeker Mine Radius 4.1, Shield damage bonus 1%, Firefly damage 5.7, and Decoy health of 6.0. Now, must buys things to look for from the theater settlement. Hello. Yeah, not really, man. I'm not feeling any of these. Yep, negative. Negative, Ghost Rider. All right, so for the New York vendors, what I'm going to do is we'll do Brooklyn first because there's just one vendor. And then we'll finish up at the Haven settlement in Warlords of New York. So that is it for Washington, D.C. If you do not own the DLC or the expansion, that's it for you this week. But here we are to the DLC vendor. Ooh, get hit with 3 loading screens. Very nice. Yeah, the loading's been kind of wonky today. But we didn't have any sort of update. There was no, like, downtime or anything. We shall see. I assume there's going to be a title update next week for the new stretch goals event, but we'll talk about that later. All right, here we are. Brooklyn vendor. Here's Marcus. Hey there. Starting with the Tactical Vector SBR 9mm with in-sync and health damage. Then we have a M700 Carbon with crit chance and close personal. Close and personal on a sniper? Why? But why, though? Yeah. Following that, we have a Super 90 with swap speed and breadbasket, and a Police Magnum with damage to targets out of cover and breadbasket. Going to the gear items, we have a Eminence Armaments backpack with skill damage, headshot, and safeguard. Electric gloves with max health and repair skills, and Murakami mask with status and crit damage. Going to the mods, we have crit chance 4.5, skill duration 8.3, drone plus 2 extra bombs, firefly plus 1 max target, and sticky bomb skill haste of 4.1. Now, must buy things to look for from the Brooklyn vendor. Not really. All right, and now it is time to finish up in Warlords of New York, the Haven Settlement. And that's a wonky loading screen right there, too. Crazy. All right, so we have 2 more vendors, and then we're done. We have Marco at the top of the escalator, and then we have Roy Benitez just outside. Now, I hope you've enjoyed this weekly vendor reset. We do this every single week, and I thank you for joining me. Here we go, Marco. And starting with another Tactical Vector SBR 9mm, this one with swap speed and future perfect. Like, the rolls are bad, the talents are bad. It's just not, it's not connecting today for me. I don't know, maybe it's just me. After that, we have a MG5 with headshot and ignited, a M16 with accuracy and ignited, and a Card 45 with swap speed and fast hands. Going to the gear items, we have a Empress chest piece with an empathic resolve repair skills. Okay. and armor regeneration. I mean, you could go like an Empress Healer, maybe. Following that, we have Electric Gloves with skill haste and crit damage, and Empress Mask with status effects and crit chance. For this mask, though, you could easily just change the crit chance to skill damage, go skill damage status. On an Empress build, that is pretty nasty. Going to the mods, we have Blind Deaf Resistance 8.3, Burn Resistance 8.3, Seeker Mind Skill Haste 4.9, Pulse Radius 8.6, and Trap Shock Radius of 5.8. Now, must-buys, things to look for from Marco. Not really. I mean, the Empress Mask isn't bad for your skill builds out there, but that's really about it. Dig in the bottom of the barrel at that point. I mean, we did have a good White Death. We did have the Picaro's holster. I mean, there are a few good pickups. Hey, make sure you pet the dog. Make sure you pet the dog. I just heard a cat meow, but I think it was this cat that's behind the doghouse, but it looks like that cat's sleeping, so. Unless there's another cat right around me. Where was that cat meowing? I think it was the cat back here. But that cat looks like he's sleeping. Or she, I don't want to. Whatever. Looks like the cat is sleeping. All right. Here we go. Let's see what he does. Oh, he's trying to juke me. All right. Roy Benitez, and we are all done. Starting with the converted SMG-9, this one with stability and Thunderstrike. Then we have a Model 700 with damage to targets at a cover and flatline. With this one, change flatline off for determined. This is a really good sniper, too. So we've gotten 2 really good snipers today. Not bad. After that, we have a Marine Super 90 with crit damage and Thunderstrike, a Police Magnum with headshot and killer. Off to the gear items, we have a Hanayu chest piece with skill haste, crit damage, and Vanguard, Overlord knee pads with weapon handling and headshot. And finally, Legatus mask with repair skills and weapon handling. Going to the mods, we have shock resistance 8.3, crit hit damage 10.1, shield holstered regeneration 4.3, chem launcher skill haste 6.1, and trap duration of 4.2. Now, must-buys, things to look for from Roy Benitez, the Model 700, and that's really about it. All right.
Thanks.
So a few snipers, a few named items. I mean, the Picaros, the Carnage, you know, things like that. Not bad. It's been an okay weekly vendor reset, but nevertheless, thank you for taking this journey with me. I'm Kamikazevondoom. If you found this helpful or informative in any way, shape, or form, hit that thumbs up. Support the channel by subscribing, and let me know what you think in the comment section below. And finally, shout out where you're from. It's cool to see where everyone is from. But that's it for me. Again, I'm Kamikazevondoom. Take care. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.